Welcome back to the Side Street Grill within the Adrian Dorn University Center here at Morehead State University for this edition of the Eagles Sports Coaches Show. We'll start our Coaches Show on this Tuesday with women's basketball coach. Get ready. Are you ready?
Not
Tom
everybody
Hodges.
at once. I really appreciate this section's participation. Section over there's participation of the Eagle Sports Coaches Show is overwhelming.
Overwhelming. Well, you know, if you'd passed the dollar bills out that way as you did this way,
Right.
they would have been applauding.
Shameless.
That's true.
We've got to go shameless bribe, payola, pay for play at this point, getting ready for the OVC tournament.
Regular season ended with 2 home games, and last Thursday night got a big win. EIU, which was kind of in the hunt for an OVC regular season championship, came in and probably played our best defensive game of the season and got a big win over a very strong EIU team.
Absolutely, Jason. We felt like we played very inspired against an Eastern Illinois team that had been at the top of the Ohio Valley Conference for the majority of the season. It was our best defensive effort by far, and we certainly did enough offensively to put ourselves ahead in that game. So just really proud of our effort last Thursday and giving us some momentum as we head down to Nashville later on today in preparation for the OVC tournament.
A great situation that you flip-flopped. I mean, you went from 20 points loss to winning, and it's just a matter of weeks. So the young ladies really responded to what you wanted to work on against EIU, and as I said, came out and played a great game at Johnson Arena.
Yeah, one of our low points in the season was in Charleston at Eastern Illinois. We just really didn't put our best foot forward there. We knew that going in, so we certainly wanted to represent ourselves and represent Morehead State much better the second time around against Eastern Illinois, and certainly glad that we did that and were able to come out with a big home victory against them last Thursday.
You come back out on Saturday, probably an underrated team, SIU Edwardsville, only because they're not eligible for the OVC tournament. If they were eligible, they'd be right in the thick of the hunt.
No question. I think you could honestly make a case that they are playing the very best basketball of anybody, top to bottom in the OVC. Coach Levens at SIU Edwardsville has just done a great job and has really built that program into a contender. If they were eligible for the tournament, they, along with UT Martin, would be my odds-on favorite to win it. So it was a tough contest. We knew it was going to be tough. We were lucky enough to get a victory. To that point was our biggest victory in Edwardsville, and we knew them coming back it would be really tough, as it proved to be, in a great college basketball game that went into overtime. Yeah,
Eagles drop a 72-70 decision, and one of your bench players stepped up big time. Therese Robinson had her best game, a career-high 20 points, hit some just tremendous big-time shots.
Yeah, Therese is a really dynamic and outstanding young lady that really we see signs of that every day in practice, Jason, and it hasn't translated. We've seen a few glimpses of it, but it was nice to see really over the course of the second half in the Edwardsville game, her being able to really take over and dominate the last 10 minutes of that game and score 20 points and put us in great position to win it. Unfortunately, we didn't come out on top, but it gives us a great positive and a really good feeling as a team, and certainly her individually, as we get ready to go to Nashville.
Before the game, you honor your seniors, Linda Dixon and Courtney Lumpkin, a very emotional ceremonies. I know very emotional for you because these two young ladies were here when you got here, and they have meant so much to this Eagle program.
Absolutely. There aren't really words to describe or express my appreciation and our program's appreciation to Courtney and Linda and just everything that they've done on the court, but everything that they've done off the court. They've been so instrumental. Whenever we have a recruit, the first two people I want them to get in front of are Courtney and Linda, just because they're such great ambassadors for our university, and they're great student athletes. They're both going to graduate in May with high GPAs, and just really been a pleasure for me to coach over the last 2 seasons.
You know, they're kind of like the odd couple in a way, and Courtney's going to have her name in a lot of the records. She's going to be among the top scorers, the top assist people, and then Linda ran under the radar for 2 years, but you hit it right on the head, the fact that over the last 2 years, she may be the most underrated player in the Ohio Valley Conference.
It's my opinion that she certainly is the most underrated player. She's gotten her just reward this year, and certainly stepped into a more of a scorer's role and leadership position for us. I think it goes without question that she's the best on-ball defender in the league, and maybe the best off-ball defender in the league. There aren't many people that have an easy time when Linda guards them. And to Courtney's credit, Courtney has stepped in where you think of point guard play, you don't normally think of prolific scorers, but she's really stepped into that role and averaging right around 22 points a game for us in OVC play, which is ranks among the top 3 in the league.
I know the fact that Court has kind of shifted over about midway in the season after we've struggled early. The fact that Almisha Jones came on allowed Courtney to move over to the 2-guard spot so Jones could get in there and play more minutes, and that was unselfish of a senior who could and has been going for a lot of records to kind of just shift over and say, Coach, whatever you need, I'll go over and do it.
Well, you think about it, she's, I believe, 13 assists away from breaking the all-time assist record at Morehead State. If we would have kept her at the point guard, her natural position, there's no doubt about it that she would have broke that. She sacrificed that for the betterment of the team to get Almisha into the point guard role and move her to more of a scoring guard situation. And that just gives you great insight into her mentality and the type of young lady that she is.
You know,
just had the Linda Dixon walk in on us.
Yeah, we're going to have her on a little
Linda
bit.
Dixon, everybody. If you're paying attention at all, could you please clap for Linda Dixon? Could this table please clap for Linda Dixon? 1.5 claps. We're getting there. We're getting there. The far reaches of my voice go about 17 feet.
But, you know, we head into the regular season with a lot of new faces, a lot of new players coming in, and it was rough to start. But, Coach, you have to be kind of happy with the way it ended. I mean, wins and losses may not be what you like, but the maturity level of these young ladies and the progress that you've seen has to make you and your staff very happy.
Well, it's funny. When we were winning 21 games last year, our wins were really important. You know, when we don't win that many, maturation and all that stuff becomes important. No, you know,
I've tried to be your PAR agent.
Right, I
tried.
appreciate it, Jason.
So, you have to remember, I've done a 2-25 season. So
right. Well, we're certainly glad that your luck hadn't spilled over to us. But, you know, I love coaching this team. This team has been a joy to be around. They practice. They compete hard. They're just 14, 15 outstanding young ladies that I couldn't be prouder to be associated with them, and them represent Morehead State University. They've just been while the record and the season hadn't gone like we wanted to, it in no means has been a miserable situation, or it'd be one thing if we didn't have high character student athletes, but they're just a joy to be around. The great part is we get the majority of them back. The bad part is we lose 2 outstanding ones. So I certainly look forward to our 3rd season, which is OVC tournament play. Everybody's got the same record right now, and seeing how far we can take this thing, and then the future of the program certainly looks to be in a really good shape.
One of those deals where I guess, you've signed some people in the fall, and then you still are looking at some people. That's a good mix to try to bring some more talent in here, right?
Absolutely. Do you have anybody in mind? You sound like is there anybody in Paintsville that you have in mind? We've got one scholarship available. We're actively recruiting.
Gracie can commit.
Gracie,
right now.
Can Gracie rebound?
She can
if
rebound
Gracie
and dribble.
Can rebound. She can get on the bus at 2:30 today.
Let me get her on the phone.
Absolutely.
Here. But and she likes you, so I mean that's. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that, was I?
Well, that's fine. That's fine. I need all the likes I can get from as many women as I can get these days, Jason. So I normally have the adverse effect. My demographics is normally under 5 and over 65. That's my demographic that I relate to. Anywhere in between gets a little iffy.
Austin Peay, you split with them regular season. The Ohio Valley Conference Tournament will get underway at Municipal Auditorium on Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, 12:45 airtime here on the
Eagle Sports Network.
And so
better known as the ESN.
Carrie Daniels seems like her team always hits the spot coming down the stretch, and they get into the tournament. She's won 2 Ohio Valley Conference tournaments with below 500 records, and that just proves that once this tournament begins, anyone can win it.
Absolutely, that's the beauty of March. It's the beauty of tournament basketball, that anything can happen as long as you're in the field, and we're in the field as the 5th seed. We fought very hard. Feel like we certainly could have put ourselves to be as high as the 2nd seed. We're about 6 plays away, Jason, from being in the 2nd seed. So our margin of error is very, very fine, plus or minus. So we feel good about that. We feel like we can compete and not only compete, can absolutely win against any opponent that we face in Nashville. So it's nice to know that we played Austin Peay a week ago, so there's some familiarity there. It makes it easier scout because it's still fresh on our minds. But Coach Daniels has done a great job, and they're certainly playing their best basketball of the year.
And it's been 2 entertaining games, 2 good games. We won here at Johnson Arena on December 31st. They win in overtime when we were on the road on the February 18th. And, it's been a battle. This will be the 73rd time that Austin Peay and Morehead State has met.
Stats and facts. Coach Steph, stats and facts.
And the series.
Got to have stats and facts, Jason.
The series is tied.
Series is tied.
36-36.
My goodness. Business is picking up. I just felt the tension just lower even more in the room. You can cut it with a knife. Can't you feel it, Jason? It's just unbelievable right now.
So you mentioned you're going down on Tuesday, going down this afternoon.
Yes.
And
are we on tape delay? Can we say we're going down today, or do we have to say we're going down?
Well, just in case.
Where we went down yesterday.
Well,
what do we?
What do you do if they pull it up?
I'm a little. For our Icelandic viewers,
yes. They may
the
be
time zones
maybe over that equator. They may be over the international date line.
Right.
They may be tomorrow there,
right,
and yesterday here.
American Samoa gets this too.
So if they check on it, on the web Tuesday, what's your plans? What's the plans for the Eagles?
Gosh, I'm so turned around. What is today? Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yes. Well, we'll leave today. We had practice this morning at our normal practice time. We'll leave at 2:30 today and head down to Nashville, get checked in, take the girls out to a nice meal and watch some film. And then we'll get up tomorrow morning and have a little shoot around at Municipal Auditorium. And then get ready to hit the floor at 11 o'clock, tip at 12 o'clock Central, 1 o'clock Eastern. You can hear it live on the Eagle Sports Network. Jason on the call.
Yep.
And we'll proceed accordingly from there.
So tomorrow morning, you get up, going to the shoot around. What's your main thing? Are you just trying to get the girls?
Are you trying to?
Trying to
We
do-
can't reveal too many secrets, Jason. What
Are you
What are you
trying-
trying to do? Are we that labored
we'll
for
draw it out
content
right
right
here.
now that we're going into the archives to see? I do think if it goes to American Samoa, I'm sure this broadcast will go to Clarksville. So we can't divulge too much right
What
now.
do you work on the most? You just get them to shoot. I mean, I know you've already got your game plan in and everything, but to get adjusted to a facility that some of them has played in, some
Sure.
of them hasn't.
Sure. What we'll do, the OVC gives you a very limited time on the floor, so I think we've got 20 minutes tomorrow morning. We'll go in and just get shots up. We'll do all the schematic or scattering report stuff at the hotel and the film room, and then clear office space in a ballroom or something. But we'll go to get those 7 freshmen accustomed to the surroundings. The nice thing about playing the first game is you get on the floor an hour before the game, so it'll give us some extra shot and preparation time as far as those things go. But yeah, we'll get up tomorrow morning, head over there to Municipal Auditorium, and get about 20 minutes worth of shooting in.
And, of course, Eastern Kentucky and Tennessee State plays right after that. And, of course, the winner of our game will take on Murray, a team that came in here and played a decent game against Murray. Murray came to Johnson Arena and beat us earlier this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Our side of the bracket with Murray receiving the bye, we only played them once, had an 18-point lead late in the first half. Really a tale of 2 games, 2 halves, but we would certainly like another crack at Murray, and to get another crack at Murray, we've got to go through a very tough Austin P team. That there's some rivalry there, so it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting 4 days in Nashville for both us and Coach Stendel and his group. Looking forward to it. This is the best time of year if you're a college basketball fan.
Now, your contract states that you're supposed to be up here, but we're going to talk to Linda we're going to cut into your time if that's okay.
Does that mean Linda represents my contract?
Yes.
Over the course of her time?
Yes.
That's scary. Can I have some time? Linda's a pre-law major. She's going to be a lawyer. I might need some time with my counsel about how we have a very high standard on our segment of the show.
Yeah,
I can't
true.
speak for anybody else.
I know.
Getz doesn't even show up here today.
Yeah.
I mean,
You scared him, though, last week.
well, we're running it without him.
Yeah, well,
We're running it without him.
He doesn't know that. So, but, Coach, good luck in Nashville. We'll hopefully do this all again next week and recap 4 great days in Nashville and heading to our first NCAA tournament.
Absolutely. Plan on it, Jason.
All right. Tom Hodges,
Thank you.
head coach at Morehead State University. We'll
Please
come
hold
back.
your applause down. Hold it down over there.
We'll come back.
Continue talking amongst yourselves.
We'll come back and we'll have senior guard Linda Dixon on this edition of the Eagle Sports Coaches. All right. Are you ready? Welcome back to the Eagle Sports Coaches Show. Talking a little basketball. Ohio Valley Conference Tournament will get underway for Morehead State tomorrow as they take on Austin P. 1 o'clock will be the tip-off time, 12:45 airtime on the ESN. Linda Dixon has joined us now, one of the 2 seniors on the Eagle roster this year. The senior from Radcliffe, Kentucky, had a great junior year and a great senior year. Tell us a little bit about how you came to be at Morehead State University. How did you select Morehead State?
Well, Morehead was one schools that was really persistent with recruiting me, and so coach had a coach at the time called Coach Harry. He would call me every day, so I was like, okay, they really want me, so I think I'm gonna come to Morehead.
That's a great situation for you. You came to Morehead first couple years, didn't get a lot of playing time. Coach Hodges comes in and you made the most out of it.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, the fact that, a lot of people saw your name on the roster And then the last 2 years, they see your name doing all these stats and having great games like that.
Yeah.
Was it hard to keep your motivation to work?
No, when Coach Mike was here, we had a very competitive team, so we would always like work hard anyways. And then when he left and Coach Hodges came in, I just seen it as like a clean slate. Everybody was starting on the same level, so just come out and show what I could do, and then see if I could get a spot.
All you needed was a chance, right?
Yes.
And you got it, and you proved everyone right. Tell us a little bit about being from Radcliffe. I think you're an Army brat as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, you've had a great situation from Elizabethtown, or rather Elizabethtown area, Radcliffe.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do after another week of winning the Ohio Valley Conference tournament and playing in the NCAA? What's a long-term goal for Linda Dixon?
Like in the future?
Yeah.
Later I think I want to go to law school, and I think I might want to practice law or become like a sports agent type thing and just do that. I think keeping in sports, since I know a lot about sports. So.
It's great to see you and Courtney as the Lone Tune seniors, because it's been your leadership this year that's kept this team together a lot of times. You brought 7 freshmen in this year,
yeah.
So it had to be hard for you and Court to keep things going on a positive atmosphere all the time.
Yeah. We just know how we felt when we came in. It was we came in with a lot of new people too, so we knew it was hard, different, transitioning from high school to college basketball. And what made it easier was the senior leaders and all the leaders on our team then. So we thought we just should do the same for our freshmen that came in this year.
Austin P tomorrow, split with them during the regular season. Pretty good basketball team.
Yes, especially around tournament time, they definitely step it up. But I think it should be a good game.
Ought to be an outstanding game. Once again, 1 o'clock Eastern time, 12:45 airtime here on the ESN. Now, we got about a minute and a half, so you got a minute and a half. You can tell us your real thoughts on Coach Hodges real fast. He doesn't even hear this.
Oh.
You had to check him out. He's crazy, isn't he?
A little bit.
A little bit. We won't say. I mean, you go from one extreme with Coach Mike, Coach Bradbury, to Coach Hodges.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably had to find a little bit of neutral. But Linda, we appreciate it. Good luck in the OVC tournament, and good luck with your future. You've represented Morehead State awful well. We appreciate your effort. We appreciate the hustle that you show. And like we said, good luck tomorrow against Austin P, and hopefully we can stay the whole week in Nashville and then celebrate an OVC tournament championship.
Right. Thank you.
All right. Linda Dixon, senior guard here at Morehead State University. We'll come back with more from the Side Street Grill on this edition of the Eagle Sports. Welcome back to the Side Street Grill, our third segment of this edition of the Eagle Sports Coaches Show. We're with Donnie Tyndall, men's basketball coach. And, Coach, 2 games last week at Morehead State, EIU, SIU, Edwardsville, 2 big wins to end the regular season.
Well, no question. It was a great home stand. We had great turnout in regard to attendance, and I thought our kids played extremely hard at both nights against quality, tough opponents. You know, we went on the road a few weeks before and lost to SIUE at their place and only beat Eastern Illinois by 1. And, we beat EIU by 30-plus points, so had a huge turnaround from the last time we played them. And then took care of business against SIUE by 15, so had a 23-point swing. So I think it shows, number one, that our home court and our crowd had a big part of that, and number two, that our team has really improved over the last month of the season.
I think maybe, and you probably may disagree with me, 2 of the better defensive games that we saw out of your club this year against EIU and SIUE.
Well, no question. We held EIU to 12 points at the half, and I thought Had a lot of what we call hands-on ball level, where we're getting deflections and steals, which allowed our team to get out in the open floor and play in transition. And I was proud of our guys' effort for 40 minutes both nights. I thought we really had a great energy level at the defensive end, and that's always been our staple, Jay, as you know, but this year more so than in the past, because we're not going to outscore people. We're just not with our personnel. That's not offensive. We have some good young players that have continued to grow and get better, but we're not a potent offensive team this year like maybe we have been the past couple of seasons. So we have to do it by guarding the right way, and I thought we did that this past week.
In the regular season, and you look back on where you started with all the younger players and trying to mix and match, you lose one of the best players, if not the best player that ever played Morehead State, Kenneth Reed, Harper, Goodman, coming off that success. One of those situations where some of these younger players could have folded, but I think you had to teach a little more early on, but it's paid off down the end.
Well, no question. I think it's a tribute to our guys' resiliency, their toughness and grit. You lose the 3 guys to graduation last year, as you mentioned, and then you lose Terrence Hill, your leading scorer, at midseason, and yet our guys found a way to go 9-5 in conference games without Terrence. And I think probably the guy that doesn't get enough credit for his leadership and being the glue guy that he is and holding everything together is Ty Profit. He's a guy that has showed remarkable resiliency through a lot of different things this year, and yet he's always upbeat. He's always positive. The guys are always looking at him to see how he responds, and I've said this before, he's like a coach on the floor. He does the right things. He says the right things, and our guys respond to that.
It's one of those situations, Ty coming from a great high school program here in Kentucky, and he's built upon that, but also one young man's maturity, Drew Kelly, the fact that it seemed like after Hill went down with the injury, Drew stepped up his game, and I think playing in Kenneth's shadow maybe last year, he's kind of come into his own, and people saw what you saw in him when you recruited him.
Well, no question. Drew's had a fantastic second half of the season. He's averaging about 13-6 in conference play, which the all-conference teams will be announced today. I think there's a chance he could be on that second team with the way he's played in conference games for the most part. But the biggest thing with Drew is when he's aggressive and he's in attack mode, he's going to get you 15 and 6 or 7, and if not more. He's had a few 20-point games. And, again, going back to Ty, I think Ty's a guy that when he challenges Drew and he stays on Drew about being aggressive, Drew really listens to Ty. And there's been many times, Ty probably doesn't even realize this, but I've heard Ty pull him aside and say, come on, man, you got to step up, or let's go, big fella, I'm going to get you the ball the next time down the floor. And Drew feeds off that. And when he's playing well, it gives our team certainly a nice post presence, but then it makes the other guys on the perimeter better because they're having to double down on Drew or help down on Drew, and he makes his teammates better.
You got a lot of younger players, and as we said, a lot of new players coming in to the program this year, and it seems like they've each had their own moment, and I think that's what the big melting pot's all about, the fact that you have to put them in a situation that you feel comfortable with and know they can succeed before they can get out there and succeed.
Well, no question. I read different articles on different coaches, and everyone has their own way of doing things. And when I was at LSU, the football coach there was Nick Saban, and I would go watch some of their practices and got to know some of their assistant coaches. One was Jimbo Fisher, who's now the head coach at Florida State. The other, another guy I was friends with, Will Muschamp, is now the head coach at Florida. So they were very hands-on and offensive and defensive coordinator. But to watch Coach Saban and what he expected every day, not just from his players but from his staff. And then I read an article this year because Les Miles, the new coach at LSU, does things a little differently, but obviously he's had great success. And the comparison was, someone said, well, a freshman can go in and play early for Coach Miles, they can't for Coach Saban. And the difference in this former player's opinion is Les Miles is a little bit of more of a player's coach, a little bit looser. Nick Saban is more detailed and more exact. They both work, and they've had great success. But I think for freshmen and new guys that come in and play in our program, it takes them a little longer, maybe some other players or some other coaches' program. But once they get there, they're real guys, we call them. You know, they can play under pressure. They can play in longer stretches. They can play without turning it over in the crunch time of games. And so some of these young guys that early on, people were probably saying, man, what was Tyndall doing recruiting this guy? Well, by January, they start to see it. You know, Angela Warner, Dre Matthew, Jordan Purcell, some of these guys that have really grown and developed as the years went along.
17-14 regular season, 10-6 in the Ohio Valley Conference. You know, besides you, most people would be happy with a 17-win season. The fact that when you got here, the program wasn't as in good shape. You've kind of turned it around, and it's a nice mark when 17 wins is, you know, you're not happy with.
Right, you know, and you're right, because I look at it and I think, man, you had South Dakota, Illinois State, Jacksonville State at home. We could have won 20, 22 games, and we've won our share of close games, don't get me wrong, but you're always striving for excellence and to be perfect, and that's what I told our team actually in our meeting yesterday. We're about 15 to 18 plays away from being 23-8, and when you tell your team after those particular games we would have won had we made 1, 2, 3 more plays, you always say, but the good thing is it's not like football. You don't have to wait a week. We get to play on Wednesday or we get to play on Tuesday, whatever it may be. But there's no more of that now. You have to play the right way for 40 minutes or unfortunately your season is over. And, you know, when you think about this, 17 wins with what we've been through is a fantastic season. We certainly hope we're not done. But it's the first time in 42 years in Morehead State basketball that we've had 4 straight winning seasons. And that's an incredible feat. And then to take it one step further, I think we go back to like 1952 is the first time since Morehead has finished in the top 4 in the OVC for 5 straight years. And when I took the job over, I didn't say, hey, we're going to win the championship every year. I said our goal is to be in the top 4 every year, because in a league like ours, if you're in the top 4, then you have a legitimate chance to win the tournament. And I think, you know, obviously we wanted to win it this year. It didn't work out, but we're in the top 4, having finished in 3rd place, and feel like we have a legitimate chance heading into the tourney.
Well, we talked with Coach Hodges the fact that first thing, you have to get to the tournament. Second thing, everybody starts off clean slate, and you know, you're still not away from that 20-win season. You know, if we can get 3 more wins, you know, that might get you a 20-win season. Also get you another OVC tournament championship.
Yeah, trust me, we've already got the 3 in the tourney. We're playing the opening round that Tuesday for 21, so we'll be 21 and something, playing like Duke or Carolina that Thursday. So well, that's the plan.
We'd even go to Durham if they let us.
That's right, no question.
But you know, it's wide open. It's exciting time. You know, Murray State's probably everyone's pick, but we've seen years in the past that the mighty have fallen early on. I mean, you have to come ready to play. It's a week-long tournament, and the cards are there to be taken.
Well, no question. I mean, when you look at teams 2 through 8, I think anybody could win any of those games. And obviously Murray State's the heavy favorite, but they've lost to Tennessee State. We played them to a 6-point game. Tennessee Tech has played them tough on 2 different occasions. SEMO only lost by 8, so it's not like they're overwhelming people and beating everybody by 20, 25 points. They have a great team. Don't misinterpret that, and I'm not disrespecting them at all, but we certainly hope we get another chance to play them.
You get the bye that you want. I know as a coach you probably wanted that double bye, but realistically you head down the stretch of the season, you take care of your own business, you get the bye, and you wait on the winner of the Austin Peay Jacksonville State game, which anytime Dave Luce is in the postseason with his experience, it's a scary thing.
Well, it is, and both teams are the exact opposite of each other. You got Jacksonville State, who you're worried if you can get to 50 points on them because they play so hard and they guard you the right way. And then Austin Peay, you're worried if you can hold them to less than 90 the way that they can score in bunches, and they have so many talented guys that can really, really score the ball. So regardless of who we play, it's going to be a challenging game. If it's Austin Peay, then we're going to have to do a great job at the defensive end to try to control how they score it, because, again, they can score in bunches. If it's against Jacksonville State, we're going to have to play well offensively because they force turnovers, and they really do a great job at the defensive end. So either way, it's going to be a tough game, and if you're fortunate enough to win that, you play Tennessee State, who we lost to at their place by 5, but they're about as talented as anybody. They're long and athletic and deep, and, they go to Murray State and win, so I think that speaks for itself.
Morehead State, as we said, will play the winner of the Austin Peay Jacksonville State game Thursday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. I guess we should say 9-ish. It's the second game. It'll follow Tennessee Tech and the winner of the SEMO EKU game. So 9-ish. And we'll have all the action on the ESN. I thought we had a train coming through here. Please depart. Your exits are this way and that way. But Donnie, it's a situation that tell us a little bit about how we talked to Tom, and Tom didn't want to give any secrets away. We didn't want to give. We just wanted him to go away. But tell us a little bit what the plans are for the Eagles when you're leaving, practice schedules, stuff like that, because it's different in the postseason week.
Well, it is. We'll practice Wednesday mid-morning. We really don't have a game prep to go through, so we're guarding some different actions that both teams will run, just so we've had some familiarity with whoever it is we play. We'll have a short practice, probably an hour and 20 minutes. Get on the bus, head up to Nashville. We'll settle in. We'll take our guys over to the 8 o'clock game, which is the Jacksonville State-Austin Peay game. Myself and one of the assistants will stay back at the hotel and have everything set. As soon as the game's over, the team will come back. We'll have a walkthrough in the ballroom area of the hotel and watch tape. Both scouting reports will be done, so whoever we play, it'll be ready to go. And then the next morning we have a practice around 11 o'clock for an hour and tip it off that night. It's not too much different, except your game preparation kind of becomes 24 hours as opposed to maybe like a Saturday game after a Thursday night opponent where you have 48 hours.
Now, I know that the Ohio Valley Conference will give you some time in the gym as a coach. Do you try to find other venues to maybe have your team shooting or going through some things at the last minute that you can't do in a ballroom?
We do. We'll definitely, rather than take the 40-minute or 30-minute practice
20
time,
minutes, I think.
Yeah, we'll go to a high school for about an hour and a half and walk through everything and get some shots up, and on the day of the game, that is, and then get over to the gym about an hour and a half early and be ready to play.
It's one of those great times of the year, is the fact that it's going to be a week long in Nashville, and you've done it twice. The fact you run the gamut, and last year was a very special year. But as a coach and your staff, you've been through it before, so you know exactly what to do when. It's not going to be any surprises if we can get past one game. You know what's going to have to do in the semifinals and then the finals. So you've been there before.
Well, we have. We're the only team in the OVC that's played in 3 conference tournament games over the last even 5 years, let alone 3 straight years. So I think we have some residue from last year in regard to certainly our staff and some returning players that have been through it. We'll know what to expect. Hopefully the jitters or the nervousness will be there to some extent, but hopefully it's not overwhelming, particularly to our new guys. And the biggest thing about this time of year, I always say, is a lot of teams become hesitant to make mistakes or unsure of themselves and play not to lose. One thing we've really always done at this time of year is to play to win and have an aggressive attack mode mentality, and I think that's really important going into the tournament.
has that regular schedule you played paid off towards the end? You know, you don't dodge anybody. It's hard non-conference season, and sometimes we take our lumps. Sometimes we give our lumps out. As you see the progression in your team, that's what it's all about, trying to play to March, not to play for a good record in November and December.
Well, it is. There's no question about that, and I think it certainly pays dividends down the stretch and on the back end. You know, the thing that people that don't really follow it may not understand is sometimes you go play these games and you get beat with a young team at NC State by 25 or 30, and then you go to West Virginia with a young team and you get popped pretty good, and your team loses a little confidence, and then you come home against a team like South Dakota, who we probably beat 8 out of 10 times or 9 out of 10 times, but we've lost some confidence, and we shoot it poorly, and we don't play aggressive, and we lose by 1 point. So you look back and say, man, if we didn't play that early season schedule, we probably don't lose the confidence and we beat a South Dakota. But on the flip side, it does certainly get you prepared for a tough OVC schedule and some of the environments we have to go play in, like Murray State or like Austin Peay. So there's goods and bads, and it's just sometimes early in the year, especially with a young team, you don't want to overwhelm yourself with a tough schedule, and maybe we did that a little bit this season.
And it's hard, being a mid-major, the fact of trying to draw some people into Morehead, Kentucky.
Well, it is. You know, last year, as I said, we had to set up the schedule and get some teams like College of Charleston, Kent State, Ball State, Indiana State, some very, very good mid-major programs that we had games with, and we go 4-0. But now with a young team and having lost those guys, you know, it's a very difficult, challenging schedule. But in order to get anyone to come to our place last year, we had to play some really good quality teams, and but you're right. A lot of people don't want to come to Morehead State now with the success that we've had.
Morehead State taking on the winner of Austin Peay, Jacksonville State on Thursday, about 9 o'clock Eastern time. We'll be on the air on the Eagle Sports Network a little after 8:45, probably about 15 minutes prior to tip-off. Donnie, good luck. Talk to you next week.
Thank you, Jay.
Head basketball coach Donnie Tyndall will come back with senior guard Ty Profit on the Eagle Sports Coaches Show. You ready? Mm-hmm. Welcome back to the Eagle Sports Coaches Show on this Tuesday evening here on the Eagle Sports Network. Once again, the ladies will begin Ohio Valley Conference tournament play Wednesday at 1 o'clock, 12:45 airtime here on the ESN. The men will begin play on Thursday about 9 o'clock, airtime 15 minutes before that here on the ESN. Ty Profit has joined us now, and Ty, see, they like you.
Yeah, it appears so.
Eagles heading into the Ohio Valley Conference. You've been part of this team that has seen some great times, especially last year. It has to be, as a player, all the hard work, kind of exciting going to Nashville with another chance to see what happens.
Yeah, you know, Nashville's a lot of fun. You know, obviously we've had a lot of success down there, you know, in the past couple of years. But just to put this team, you know, that's not that had very high expectations in a position that we're in, it's just a good feeling.
Coach Tyndall calls you a coach on the floor, and you know, he's probably called a lot of things too. But
yeah,
we'll say coach on the floor. But it's one of those situations where you had to play 4 different positions this year, and you know you accepted your role so well, because I know that the main thing, don't care about stats, you care about wins.
Right. Right. You know, I'm just, you know, most guys are fighting to get on the floor for one position, and, you know, coaches put me in 4 different ones. Really, you know, that's, you know, I just, you know, I'm thankful for that. You know, they've had to be patient with me. Learning 4 positions is kind of tough. You know, some of our guys struggle learning 1 position, but learning that 4 has definitely been difficult. But, you know, I'm just happy to play. You know, I just want to be out there on that floor.
Your career at Morehead State has been a very solid career. Looking back on it, like the fact that you transferred and ended your playing career here?
Oh, definitely. You know, growing up, you know, I lived about an hour and 45 minutes from here. You know, Dad would always bring me up to football games. You know, we have a great relationship with Coach Ballard, you know, for a long time, him and his wife. And, you know, I'd get to come down here and watch basketball as well. I've just always enjoyed this community, and it's you know, they really just accept you. It's very homely, and, you know, everyone here supports Morehead State. It's a good feeling. It's a good program to play for.
It's very challenging, I guess, to play for Coach Tyndall in a way, but you can see the drive he has only makes the players, yourself, and your teammates a lot better.
Absolutely. You know, Coach Tyndall's hard on us, and sometimes we wish he was easier, but that's not how life works. You're going to have people that are hard on you, and he's doing nothing but a service to us, holding us accountable, and showing us that tough love.
What are you going to get into after your playing days are over?
I'm going to try to be exactly what my dad is right now. Go work for him. If that falls through, which hopefully, Lord willing, that doesn't fall through or anything like that. I have a finance degree from Morehead. I could always use that, or I could always be knocking on Coach Dindall's doorstep. Trying to get
he
a coaching
probably
job.
liked that. Of course, we can give your dad a plug. Lowe's Sporting Goods,
Yes,
right? In London,
Yep.
and it has a great tradition. When I was in Johnson County coaching, we used to buy stuff all the time. Maybe not off your dad, but the Lowe's chain. But going to Nashville, what's your thoughts?
Just to have fun, just to enjoy it. It's a great experience. This is what you do all the hard work for. This is why we're up at 6 o'clock in the morning on Mondays and Fridays running. This is why we lift weights every day. Nashville, I mean, we're playing to achieve our dream to go to the NCAA tournament, and there is no better feeling, especially from the past seasons that we've had, to beat a team like Louisville in the tournament. It doesn't get any better than that.
And it's one of those situations where, unlike last year when everybody was picking us, we're under the radar right now. There's no added pressure on that.
Yeah, and it's nice. Coach Tyndall. We have a young team, and to have that unneeded pressure of having high expectations could be tough for some of them. But Coach Tyndall, the whole coaching staff, they get us ready, and none of these guys are going to feel any pressure. We're just going to go out there and play.
Ty, appreciate you taking time out.
Yep.
The men will play on Thursday night about 9 o'clock, 15 minutes airtime on the ESN. Also, the women will begin the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Airtime 12:45 on the ESN. If you can't make it out to see this young man play, you can follow along on the Eagles Sports Network or ovcsports.tv. And Ty, good luck. Hopefully we can do
Thank
this
you,
again after cutting down the nets in Nashville.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Ty Profit, senior guard at Morehead State University. That's going to do it for this edition of the Eagles Sports Coaches Show. We'd like to thank Tom Hodges and senior guard Linda Dixon. We'd like to thank Donnie Tyndall and senior guard Ty Profit. Back at the network control, we'd like to thank Ian Corbin turning the dials. Until next time, from the Side Street Grill here on the campus of Morehead State University, I'm Jason Blanton. So long, everybody.